Welcome into a Doubtful Wednesday.
Doubtful
Wednesday, yeah. It's a new term that we've just coined on the show today. Today is a Doubtful Wednesday. I don't mean the weather. It's actually nice, 70 degrees and sunny in our area. Summer, dare I say. I know there was seasons kind of blend together. But look, we've got stuff happening in Boston, and yes, we're going to hit that for the SEO purposes and all of the things going on with Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, what's happening around the NBA. Last night, what an amazing opportunity to sit back and just be entertained by the league, specifically Damian Lillard and Joker. And then also the despondence, if you will, right, from LeBron James walking off early, the opposite of Willis Reed returning to the court in heroics. And look, all of that, though, to be honest and fair, and look, don't blame me, Harry Mays, Barrett Brooks. Don't blame me, stream out there, liking, sharing, subscribing to the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Don't blame me, because the Sixers, with their previous game without Joel Embiid, put me in this mentality of, I don't know what this team is going to look like without Joel Embiid tonight, assuming he's not going to play, which I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah, they pretty much said that, yeah.
I know they're going to win, but I don't know what they're going to look like, and damn it, they better look good. That's all.
Bro, just win. Just win. I don't care how they look.
By
just
a bucket against an 8 seed, Barrett.
Without your best player, bro. I don't care. A win is a win. I mean, even if they could, you can't win by a half point. A win is a win at this point when you don't have your major horse. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told you yesterday that the Lakers without AD are gone. You know what I'm saying? They can't compete. You got your big men, Drummond, 7 points. Gasol,
he got the rebounds over. He got the over.
You got it. You got the rebounds on over.
Well, that's what you said he was going to do anyways. Yeah, I gave you that. But, I mean, that's a travesty, man. That's a travesty.
Well, look,
the Sixers won't do that.
Either way, though.
This is going to be a great game. They're going to win. They're going to win impressively in front of their home court.
All right, what happens
in front of everybody?
That's what I'm saying. You go into a game tonight where doubt has already crept in, not because, the concept of doubt. That last game should never have happened. Ever.
Right, but still, you're not going to get me to do it. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, Eytan. I'm not doing it.
I'm not sensing it. I'm not sensing it either, because I look at the line, which is 6.5. And that would typically be probably around 7.5 with Joel Embiid in the lineup. So I look at Las Vegas, thinks that this is going to be a 76ers win, and they probably win and cover the number.
Exactly. At this point, look at it.
Look,
this team has won before.
It was almost points.
But Eytan,
this is an 8 seed that only got hot at the end of the season when they were taking on some teams that were already in position.
This is the best guards in the league.
And look at what they did all year. Nothing. Squat. They're
in the playoffs.
They backdoored in as the 8 seed as far as the play-in game. Wait a second. You're giving me that they made the playoffs in the NBA where how many 8 seeds advance?
Actually, you could be a 10 seed in advance.
Well, that's
right.
Look, I'll buy that in the wild card, Barrett. You can sell me that all day. I'll buy it. I'll buy it in the NHL. Hell, an 8 seed could go on and win the cup.
That has happened.
But I'm not buying it in the NBA this early this morning.
Bro,
you tell me that I'm not trying to get you to do it. I'm not trying to fall for your tricks.
Eytan, I was a 6 seed. A 6 seed.
It's different.
And I have a Super Bowl ring.
Of course.
Yeah, that was
different.
A bit. You were no normal 6 seed that year. I mean, what was their record? Weren't they like 12-4 or something, or 11-5 as a 6 seed?
I think 11-5, something like that. Yeah, 11-5.
Yeah.
I mean, it just so happened we were like the second best team in our division.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati was number 1.
Yeah.
Look,
they were giving it to everybody. This is what I'm saying, Eytan. I could care less what the Wizards bring to town. I don't care what they're packing. I'm hoping that they just brought their toothbrushes because they don't need anything else. They're going straight home. So, but I'm looking at it like this. It was almost a blessing in disguise that this team learned how to play without Embiid during that 10-game stretch. Even though it lost him the MVP, it still showed this team that they're very capable of going out there and winning and rely on their coach to get games under their belt and keep going towards winning that first seed. So I see the same thing happen in this game.
But why
they see and know how to win? I mean, it's a shuffle, man. During that time, man, it's tough. Game adjustments, all that stuff, man. It was a bunch of stuff involved. And plus,
game adjustments is coaching. The guy that you just praised that says learn from this.
But still, though, you got to look at this, man. Look, you got two guys that are warriors on the other team. They get paid too. Those guys on the other side of the court, they actually get paid to play. And you so happen to have two of the best guards in the league.
And they were miserable this year. Come on. You're selling me on the Wizards being a good squad?
Well, let's not put too much stock into the regular season in the NBA. We all know that, what goes on there. Like, guys take nights off, guys, load manage. It's a very inconsistent situation. A lot of times they don't get time to practice together. So it's all about the playoffs.
Which this team barely made.
Media property in partnership
in a league in which good teams don't make the 8th seed.
And you, my friend, are caught in the middle.
The Middle starts now on the SportsMap Radio Network.
presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
So there's a lot of things that happened last night, and where we are now, I think in Philadelphia before tonight's game, which is inevitable, and that's the departure of the Washington Wizards from the NBA playoffs, there just seems to be this cloud of concern. We talked to a guy yesterday in Keith Pompey who spoke about just how long-term these concerns are. I don't think either of us, from the three of us to the stream, those two entities, and if you wanted to add anybody else in this, that's fine, believe that Joel Embiid is playing tonight, right?
I don't
Absolutely
think so.
not. No.
Okay.
They said in the broadcast. In fact, they said in all three broadcasts yesterday that they're not going to play.
Yeah, and I'm taking this. This is just my read on the situation. I don't have any inside information.
No?
I think this is more of an abundance of caution situation. I think he could play, and I think he's going to be okay for the next series, but they're just sitting here saying, look, we're at home. We're highly motivated to end this series. We are very capable and should end this series with a 8 to 12 point win tonight, and that's what's going to happen, and we don't need to use the big man.
As they should. This is a load management playoff game.
Yeah, very good. Like,
You're approaching from the standpoint that you can load manage your MVP, arguably the league MVP. You should be able to beat this team by more than 6 points. You should be able to look.
I said 8 to 12.
Boston.
Are you not hearing me?
No, I took it. I told you that this thing was a double-digit victory, and you were backing it off.
I said 8 to 12. What don't you understand? What do you?
No, I
Did you get better juice or
he
something?
Wants to be sour. Yeah, he wants to be sour grapes today.
I need
bro.
more than 8. No. I'm sour grapes. Like, I'm not going to be upset tomorrow if they win by a bucket. But I think.
Oh yes, you will.
No.
Oh, you.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say now ahead of time, just to preempt that. What will happen is it will double down and reinforce that this team does not beat Atlanta in the second round without Joel Embiid. I have no problem making that statement. They do not beat Atlanta in the second round if Joel Embiid doesn't play a game. So that's my concern.
I don't agree with that.
You don't. You think they'd beat them in a series?
All right, we're back in 3 on the network. Here we go. No?
No.
Long series, man. When you got a guy, hey, Trae Young gets paid to play too, Barrett.
That's right.
Absolutely get paid to play. I just think they'll match up better against than the Knicks do, even with Embiid out.
Barometer. That's
right. I do. I like the Eagles. I like the Freudian slip. I like the 76ers chances of going in and playing, man. With anybody, with the exception of the Nets.
Without
I really do.
The entire series.
I do, man. I do. I think this team is substantially
different. Beat Milwaukee.
They're not beating Milwaukee without Embiid.
I don't think they'd win 2 games against Milwaukee without.
What is happening to Giannis Antetokounmpo without Joel Embiid on the floor?
All right, let me rephrase that. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Allow me to rephrase.
Right,
Counselor, allow me to rephrase.
But reintroduce myself.
It just the tide has changed, man. It's no longer the West. It's the East right now. I mean, we hold the better teams. I'm looking at at the West. I don't think at this point, they could compete right now with the three teams in the East. I don't see any of those teams competing. Not Utah, not the Nuggets. I can't see it. I can't see it.
You've got two guys that do everything to mitigate the damage done at the position that the Sixers hold in the highest regard. Like, yes, Embiid's going to get his, but nobody's going to stop Joker. And the flip side of it is Rudy Gobert is not just on Embiid. Like, Rudy Gobert moves around. That's why he gets Defensive Player of the Year, because the guy moves around like a forward on the floor.
Right.
So everything on their defense is centered around him, to where they'll probably take him off Embiid a lot and just make life miserable for like Tobias Harris and other areas around the floor. You've got confidence, man, in this team. That
I have to have confidence in him, man. I have to have confidence.
Like, look at Phoenix last night,
bro. Booker is the truth, bro. And I knew it was
about freaking time,
Yeah,
the first couple of games he played average at best.
He's been playing average for the last month.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've been going back to the DFS well and getting burned.
I watched the first quarter of that game and then I was out. So I was almost like LeBron. I went to bed early like LeBron did last night.
And that's the thing. LeBron absolved a lot of people last night by going to bed early.
Yeah.
You and a bunch of other people who said, that's it. How is
that, man? How do you do that when you are, arguably the best player in the league? He could have won that game for him, man.
Maybe he had to go back and get that stuff done on his hair. What is that called?
The hair plugs?
No. What's that paint? What's the
Beijing.
Name?
Beijing.
He had a Beijing appointment that he had to make, so he had to go to the airport and get back to L.A.
He had a Beijing appointment.
He had a Beijing appointment. He wanted to look good for Game 6.
Yeah. What is that?
Come on, man.
I love the Beijing.
Yeah, I mean, you love the Beijing.
Bro, I just watched that team, man, and the Nets.
Rocket Mortgage.
Tough.
From the
all right, we're gonna need to do something.
Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
So, Ron, is it still like, how is it now? Is it still as egregiously loud over the other two, or does it sound any better?
Sound fine.
Okay. I don't want to be talking over Barrett and Harry any more so, and people accusing me of upping my advantage because I have controls in front of me that they don't. Like, oh, now he's making his mic louder? Jesus. I mean, that's...
They would have pointed that out.
Who was saying that?
Well, Ron's letting me know that I was a little too close to the mic, so it was much louder than you two. So I was trying to preempt, I don't know, the Penguin AZ, Muhammad Malik, 91L SXRS, whoever the hell it would be today, Joey B if he's back.
Basically, it was this, Harry, is that Eytan was peaking,
and
you two sounded perfect.
Yeah, I peaked. I peaked. It's a life I lead.
It's very rare that I'm perfect. I usually, I peaked a long time ago.
That's fine. Barrett's not winning any Super Bowl rings anytime soon either.
Right, I'm just status quo.
Yeah, my peak was back in the 80s, actually.
Not Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
good show, huh? All right. So real quick, what the hell? Like, can we just get back to having a balanced conversation here? Nobody is really concerned tonight about the Sixers losing, but there is this concern, I think, that we still have to have, like, or is there? I think we still, and this is me trying to be as normal as possible with this conversation about Joel Embiid, but that threat hasn't gone away, right? That cloud of, oh man, this could be it. Like, he hits the ground, and we were as we were with Sam Bradford before we knew any better every time he took a hit, right? Or any Carson Wentz after
Wentz.
Carson, we see Carson.
Exactly, constantly, right? Bradford, it was over the top. It was like, he's hurt every time people were using that as an excuse not to bring him in, again, before we knew any better, because, oh my God, every time he goes down, we're going to be holding our breath. Well, every time Joel Embiid goes down, we do hold our breath. And look.
Not so much this year, though.
Yes, he's missed time this year.
Yeah, he did. But I have a sense that because he's better in shape, man, that this one is just, like I said, a load management playoff sit down, as opposed to him going out there and really playing against a team that they should blow out. You're absolutely right. And from that mindset, I'm seeing what you're saying, Shan. I see that. I see that they need to blow. They should have blown this. They should have won this last game.
Yeah,
I'll give that to you too.
They should have.
Yeah,
and everybody could be resting right now.
But the bottom line is, like, Atlanta may or may not take care of business tonight. Even if they don't, they'll take care of business in the next game.
Yep.
And then they have off until Sunday.
Yep.
So it would have to go apparently to a 7th game, the Atlanta-New York series, for them to push it off until Tuesday, which would give him even 2 more days rest. So you got to look at this. He's probably off now till Sunday and has, a good chance to rest this injury. I think it's an abundance of caution, and I think he'll be fine for Atlanta.
Yep.
I'm not saying that he's not going to be fine for the next game, the next series. I'm not saying that he may be healthy for the remainder of the playoffs. What I'm saying is that we still have this threat that hovers of he could be out for 2 games because of what happened yesterday or last game where he played 11 minutes and then the game after that. Like, this could easily be against Milwaukee. This could easily be against Brooklyn. This could easily be against somebody in the NBA Finals. And that's going to dictate, as we saw in that Toronto series.
Yeah.
And look, Barrett, you're right. The man is in much better physical shape, but he's still he's so big when he falls.
Yep.
You have that potential of injury. And I'm not using it as a negative.
No.
What I'm saying is that, like, nobody else is no other top player is dealing with this, and their fan base is dealing with this. And I feel bad for Embiid because he didn't have to, but unfortunately we do.
It's the way he plays. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago where I was holding my breath still with him for the rest of the regular season because he puts himself in situations, diving for balls out of bounds. He'll go into the 3rd row to save a ball in the 2nd quarter of a game on a Tuesday night in February, for God's sake. Well, that's just the way he is.
Right. And to me, there's nothing wrong. I've seen guys, those type of guys have shorter careers because I've seen guys who were just amazing players, even on the NFL field, amazing players, physical, want to give you everything you want every single play.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do that, their body get beat up a lot more. And then we have to look at the fact that, Embiid is 7'3". I mean, of course, that's a lot of bone,
right?
That you're protecting, a lot of muscle you're protecting. You know what I mean?
So
I understand it, man.
There's a phrase in the NFL or in football, period, where a punt is not a bad play. Okay.
Yes.
Every now and then you just gotta take it and say, look, this isn't worth this right now.
Right.
Wow.
Sometimes you gotta live to play another day.
Right.
Not every pass needs to be deflected. Not every ball should be run after, going into the third seat of the sand. And we understand it, but that's why he's been recognized as an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Because he does all those
Philly
things.
guy. He's a Chase Utley.
No.
Aaron Rowan.
He's a lunch pail guy.
He's Aaron Rowan. He'll run right into the wall.
Into the wall.
Yes.
He'll break his face.
Right.
What a thing, isn't it? It is amazing. This is something else. But I mean, honestly,
you don't find too many athletes like that these days in their age bracket. A lot of these kids feel entitled, man.
Yeah.
So they don't work as hard. You know what I mean? And that's the nature of how this, younger generation is. These younger athletes are. You can't even yell at athletes these days. I mean, if you do, man, they'll crumble. They'll fall and break themselves because you're yelling at them. You have to coddle these athletes these days, and that really pisses me off. If a coach stopped yelling at me and cussing me out,
you knew
that means
done.
That means he doesn't care anymore. You do that to these guys these days, they're falling.
We yell at you all the time, Barrett. It shows you we care about you.
That's why I always get yelled at checking my emails. I know Amy, she wants the best for me. She said, check your emails.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I haven't checked them today either. So appreciate that.
Did you retweet the show tweet today?
Probably not. Probably not.
Let me get on it.
We're going to hold you accountable, man. The stream
right.
We're out there fact checking you.
Right
now.
The stream will make sure that
emails public. You don't want the emails between you and Fadul becoming public a year later and people saying, wow, Barrett's a fraud.
Yeah.
He was withholding information.
You'll be like Dr. Fauci.
Ratings.
Right. You say Dr. Fauci.
It'll be like Dr. Fauci. Look out.
Jesus.
There he goes. He just favorited it.
I saw Harry with the and look, to be fair, Harry got in with a retweet real quick.
Right.
What Barrett did, so he could say that he was there, even though he didn't do a damn thing either. Unbelievable.
You're the captain of this ship, Eytan. Come on now, Shan.
That's a scary proposition right there.
What a life raft.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is we have a yacht behind us with the
Right.
JAKIB Media YouTube page, but the three of us are just aimlessly on a life raft with like some rope connecting us so we don't get pulled up by the current. And they're just looking at us like, what are these idiots doing?
Barrett, I talked to him at 10:30 today. I doubt he could drive heavy machinery at that point in time. Okay. And now he's driving the show.
Right. I love it, man. Those days, that's when he comes in feisty.
I know.
This is heavy machinery. Look at this mic. I'm speaking into it, right? I've got equipment over here. I've got a mix board. I've got a Comrex to connect to Ron Culver. I've got a nice camera out here. I've got a big monitor. Like, there's a lot of heavy machinery out here, Harry. All right? You think operating a forklift is tough. You come operate this for 6 different jobs a day.
That's right.
Your head will be spinning. You'll be popping the same stuff I am in a matter of an hour. We like those videos you see there where it's like somebody famous goes in and tries to work the drive-through and realizes how difficult it is without any type of training and any type of walkthrough, that it's just difficult to multitask in the first place, right? So,
well, dude, you know what I did this morning? I woke up this morning early, man. I woke up at 7. Yeah, 7 o'clock's real early.
Were you on Birds 365 today?
No. Actually, I woke up early.
Real early. I was up at 5 for TV. What are you talking about?
See that damn
and
bad.
He was tweeting. He was tweeting at 5 a.m.
I might have been.
Watch me at 5:45. I'll be talking about how we're
45, but I was up early. So
we're gonna make Matisse Thybulle into Klay Thompson.
No, Ahmed, I black out. Go ahead.
Bro, so I got up early this morning and I went by the welding shop. So I had to get some pieces for my my welder. So I get there. But when I pull into the lot, right in the opposite lot, there's a dispensary. How about they have armed guards at the dispensary? Why?
Yeah.
Armed guards, yes.
Are you kidding me? Why? This is legalized marijuana. It's the same reason. It's currency.
What do you mean? You got liquor stores. Liquor stores don't have armed guards there.
Who's robbing a liquor store for product? People are robbing a liquor store for like some cash in the cash register. A dispensary gets hit like a bank, brother.
Yeah.
Right? You know
they want product.
Seriously, this is something that
seriously, really.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that deep,
who's
man.
Like, man, I'm struggling on cash. I need to go rob the local liquor store. This is like De Niro level scheme you need to pull off to bang on a dispensary.
This is the Lufthansa heist.
Yes.
Okay, all over again.
Why the hell is there a line at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Eytan stands in that line.
It was actually like 20, 25 people standing in line at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Here's why: because they're not smart enough to take advantage of the curbside pickup service. Just like you sitting in the toll without using Easy Pass, you can take advantage of the drive up. You give your card, the cash, the guy or gal turns around, says, "Okay, thank you," walks in, comes back 5 minutes later, says, "Great, have a nice day," with a stapled bag that you're not illegally allowed to open until you get home, and then you're legally allowed to vape.
A staple bag? What?
Yeah, you're not supposed to
staple it shut.
Yeah, you have to staple it shut. There are laws in this state, Barrett. I don't know what's going on in your lawless state of New Jersey, but there's laws in this state here.
That doesn't make sense to me. How did they know? What if they shortchange you?
It's the dispensary. They don't. It's all.
It's like going to the pharmacy, Barrett. You know, it's like it's regulated, and they staple the bags.
Yeah, everything's regulated. Now it's still cash, so you can take that for what it's worth, but it's all regulated. Yes.
So you have you can't pay, can't use your credit card. You have to use cash.
Cash only. There are ATMs everywhere. There are ATMs on the inside. There are ATMs on
with
the
a nice fee. Nice fee on that ATM too. Well, I bet you pay $6 fee.
No, it's like $2.50. But here's the thing: you don't have to use that ATM. You can use an ATM at Wawa, which is fee less. So
I did not notice that you're opening my eyes, man. I was already, dumbfounded that I woke up and got to the welding place at 8 o'clock, and there's still 25 people, 20 people in line at the dispensary.
Once a week, it happens 2 times a week, but once a week, 2 times. You have these deliveries, you have these drop-offs, and that's a lot of time where you have the armed guards, right? It's like a bank deposit. So those days, there's fresh product of whatever the hot
fresh product,
fresh bud.
Could be fresh flour, could be fresh oil.
Still got the dew on it.
Could be whatever it is, right?
Oh, hold on, can you get it you buy it in like dime bags? How do you buy this, man? Because can you get like regular weed that you can roll a blunt with? Can you buy it like that, or does it have to be like an oil?
Well, legally, you're not allowed to put fire to marijuana in Pennsylvania. So
Okay,
I can only
all right.
speak to the laws that are currently in existence, which is you're supposed to vape it, but it's flour. That's the easiest way to describe it. You can really do whatever the hell you want with flour, right?
Okay.
But yeah, you get it in jars, whatever it may be. And that's it. I mean, it's just those days, though, that's why there are huge lines, is because people are in the know and realize, oh, okay, today's the day that the terrapin's in, or today's the day that the oil's in, whatever it may be.
So it's like the purest stuff you can get too, right?
Well,
it's more pure than if you get it off the street.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, to the extent of like THC count. Yes, to the extent of, you know, what you're getting a label ideally of what it is. So there is a sense of security there. You know, somebody on the street can tell you, hey man, I got this new strain and it's this mixed with this, mixed with this. And it's the same stuff you got last week that you got last week that got they just keep changing the name and all this stuff. So, you know, it's all a matter of taste. It's like Coke, Pepsi, right? Sprite.
Right.
What's the other one? You know, 7-Up. That's
Fresca.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Fresca. People like to be up. People like to be down. That's really the only difference there.
Bro, that's crazy.
All
man.
of this, you know, I just wanted to play this.
How does Denver slow this guy down? Lillard launches. He banks it in. Wow. Damian Lillard taking Denver's heart. He's got 55 points.
I got a
12 threes.
Ridiculous.
Spiro Ditas.
Yeah, he's got a very distinct and like completely over the top and unnecessary delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Like, all right, we're going to take a quick one here. We're back across the board. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, sharing, and telling the world here about the JAKIB Media YouTube page. We are live and local from the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm studios here on the Middle and Sports Map Radio. We are back.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the Book It Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
How about that food at the Oakland A's minor league facility? You see that?
Yeah.
Looked pretty disgusting.
We got kicked out of the AC Surf. They died down years ago, right?
What, the AC Surf?
Yeah.
That was an independent league team.
Yeah, so I'll tell you. This.
You're listening to The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
I know Embiid tonight, at least anticipating no Embiid tonight. We have a couple of things still from last night as we'll sprinkle throughout. And then beyond that, Jeff Parles at 12:40 Eastern, 11:40, which is 10 minutes from now. Corey Parsons going to join us from NBC Sports Edge, which is the former Roto. I don't know this stuff with Boston going on up with Danny Ainge and all, but real quick, you did mention, Harry, in the break, the issue that's going on with the A's minor league team, right?
Yeah, I saw this yesterday. This photo was kind of went viral on social media yesterday of what looked like just an awful looking like lunch in like boxed lunch kind of thing in a styrofoam container. One looked like a burrito wrap, with the foil opened up, and it just looked disgusting, like stuff that looked like somebody tried to eat it and left it on the table, and it looked just like you wouldn't want to eat this stuff. And apparently it was photos of actual food that was let out for the players. For minor league players in the A's, the Oakland A's organization. And of course, this went viral, became a thing. And next thing you know, there's pressure on the A's. Like, oh, what are you doing? This stuff isn't meant for a farm animal. You're trying to give this to your players. And they ended up firing the food vendor as a result of it.
Really? Who was the food vendor?
I'm trying to find that here.
Not what we have down here, right? Like, who is it again?
I don't Aramark.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Okay, because they handle a lot of sporting events.
Yeah, they're big. They handle a lot of stuff.
That's right.
Bro, I can remember when I first got to the Eagles, man. Not only did we have to pay $100 for socks and jocks to our equipment manager, there were times where we had to give they would take out of our checks money for food so we could have lunch at the stadium. Like in between just before we go out to practice. One time they had green beans and potatoes. There was no protein, just green beans and potatoes. And they tried to pass that off. Man, guys were so pissed off, bro. And this is before really social media. But can you imagine going up there?
There was no meat?
None.
No meat.
No meat. And this is lunch served at the facility at Veterans Stadium where we practice at.
Wow. Well, what ended that? Andy Reid.
Right.
He ain't coming in there and eating green beans and potatoes.
Well, see, I didn't experience that. Andy got my ass out of there. But
right.
Can you imagine going and having potatoes?
Right.
The roasted potatoes.
That's a nice item.
Beans.
Right. I mean, green bean. I never got fed as well, both at home or on the road, as I did covering the Eagles. We had meals for days in the press booth.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. And then after we were done interviewing you downstairs in the locker room, and you were only here for a year, and I was in then. But after we were done interviewing Trot, let's say back then, you'd come back up and there would be pizza, but it wouldn't be regular pizza. It would be like cheesesteak pizza, stuffed pizza, all of this. And that's after
Buffalo. Yeah. Buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah. See, that's
but you know what?
Good food was going. It was going to us, so we wouldn't rip you. See, that's what was happening. This was all to the benefit of you. You, Guy McIntyre, you guys are too pissed off looking. Where's the beef? The beef isn't coming towards you from the media because we're comatose.
But you know what that led to, though? The reason why they started changing because it led to guys going to cheerleaders for lunch.
Yeah, they had a nice steak at cheerleaders.
I hate to break it to you, but
nice steak.
Guys were going to go there regardless.
Yeah.
You are a stone. Some guys could actually throw a quarterback from the facility to cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't do that, man, because you got to go to work, man. You got to go to work. And it got to a point, man, the guys were going over there. So Ray turned around and said, hey, guys, you got to stop going to cheerleaders. I said, and what was his name? I think his name was Barrett Wilmer. Stood up and said, hey, Ray, if you can get us a decent meal here, we'll stop going. But until that happens, I'll see everybody. He turned around like, I'll see everybody at cheerleaders.
Wow.
Did Ray is there any truth to the rumor that Ray brought cheerleaders to you?
There's no question.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Not to me personally. But
no,
yes,
no. Yes, right. Not you personally.
91 LSXers points out on the stream that even Michael Bradley's brown bag lunch is more appetizing. He's absolutely, it's not even close.
What's in the brown bag lunch?
Michael Bradley makes a wicked turkey sandwich.
Oh, does he?
Oh, yeah.
He's
quality.
Wow.
You'll have an apple in there.
An apple?
Yeah.
I know I'm out on the apple. I don't want apple and walnuts and celery, you know, with my chicken salad. I'm out on that, bro.
That's cool. You know, I was going to say that Schwartzman got me and him banned from AC surf games back when I worked for whatever the hell that AM station is down in Atlantic City. How
was that?
A long time ago, because he went to the game and similarly to what Harry described, Barrett, which is that god-awful meal that these minor leaguers were served, he got served a cold, like not even microwaved chicken patty on 2 stale pieces of bun. And that's what the media got. So he went on the show thinking, what, there's probably 20 people right now that are listening to the show anyway.
Going to rip them.
And crushed them. And then he got an email back saying, you and your station are banned.
That's like Asman and Chipotle.
It's exactly right.
They go whoop Asman's tail, bro. I'm telling you that.
Corey Parson next. Oh. Yeah, man. Seriously, right?
Well, hey, I'm gonna tell you what, man. Like, you know, for the pre and post game show, or the post game show, while we're watching the games, are the great people at Chicky and Pete's, and Pete's my guy. Pete sends us lunch. We order and he sends us lunch. Amazing. Amazing, bro. Oh, it's to die for, man. It's that, and I look forward to that. In fact, my kids try to take orders too. I'm like, nah, this is my order. I get to order this, and whatever I want, you know, they make it for me. Unbelievable.
What's this guy's Twitter handle?
At the Fantasy Exec.
Oh.
EXCEC. Senior sports betting content at NBC Sports Bet.
Dirt Road P.
But you know, hey, the best food I ever had though on an NFL team.
His name. He just messes around with his name on Twitter. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The best food I had is when I was in camp with the Cleveland Browns. Not only did we have LL there, but we had steak and lobster for dinner at times during camp. I mean, they pulled out everything. They sucked, but their food selection was unbelievable. The best food ever. They treated you like kings as far as how they fed you. Plus, they dry cleaned your clothes. All you had to do is just bring it and they dry clean it for you.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Unbelievable. And then my boy Zeus, you know, God rest his soul. Zeus, when he give his suits to the people, sometimes he would have checks in there, and his checks were like $300,000. He'd have like 2 or 3 checks in the pockets of his suits, and they would have to remind him to keep their books right, to cash these checks or deposit these checks so they can get their books right.
Right.
He would go months, weeks, and months without cashing. Zeus. His son just got traded to Orlando Brown.
Oh,
His son got traded to Kansas City. He was playing in he went to Oklahoma, but he got drafted in the first round to the Ravens. The Ravens just traded him.
Yeah.
Traded him to
last year.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Yep. Yeah. This year.
Or this year, yeah.
Yep. But
what's up, Corey?
Can you believe that?
Yo.
What's up, bro? What's the deal?
What's happening?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
Doing
Man,
great.
I can't complain.
Doing great.
Man.
You got the Knicks hat. He's ready.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready for at least. I think you get to see the Knicks 2 more times this year. That'll be it.
What?
That's it. I think I got 2 more games left on the season. That'll be it.
Corey is the biggest realist you'll beat.
I've come to the realization that the Atlanta Hawks is going to win this series. But my thing is, I think you'll see one last stand for Madison Square Garden tonight. and then off to Atlanta where the Hawks will wrap it up.
Here we go, man. We're coming right back on the network. This is great.
Firing already.
This is The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Definitely a wild, crazy night, right? In the NBA last night. We mentioned, you even heard one of the threes from Dame, but the big question coming up for Corey Parson at the Fantasy Exec on Twitter, who's joining us now as we're back on Sports Map Radio live and local, of course, on the JAKIB Media YouTube page from the Fritz and B and Cooley studios here in Philadelphia. Corey, senior sports betting content creator, NBC Sports Bet, NBC Sports. Did you have the Nuggets? Did you lay the points? Did you survive? That's really what it comes down to. Beyond all the excitement, that's secondary. Did you make anything off Denver's win? First and foremost, welcome, sir. Secondary, how did last night treat you?
Well, thank you very much. Glad to be here. And last night was a pretty solid night for your boy. I have a pretty significant wager on the Denver Nuggets. So I have it on the series. So I haven't been betting this series game by game. I've kind of been, kind of just let that significant wager sit out there. So I was glad to see the Nuggets survive. And then last night I also was on the Phoenix Suns. I figured that was a throwaway game for the Lakers last night, knowing that they have a game back at Staples Center. And then, of course, when you get to a Game 7 situation with LeBron James, you know who's going to be the favorite.
At that point, man, I'm looking at the game. If AD, he has to come back because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they have enough. I mean, I know LeBron can give you 50 if you want it. But at this point, I don't think that team is built like that. I don't see him as a team that can go any further than what they are right now, simply because they just haven't been together, not healthy enough at this point.
No, I listen. You make a great point with that. I look at it from a perspective of the way they do. Like last night, going into the game, I knew the Lakers wasn't going to be prepared. Not prepared. I knew the Lakers wasn't going to be up for that game. I said that kind of was a wash way. You come back to Staples Center, you get Game 6, and then you go into the Game 7 scenario with LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? The greatest player on the planet. And I think if you are a Lakers supporter, you have to like that. Now, one thing I will say is this Phoenix Suns team is very tough. This is a team that can easily be playing in the Western Conference Finals. So it's going to be interesting. But I'm still, when it comes to a single game situation, LeBron James is very tough to beat.
What kind of a look was it, in your view, for LeBron James leaving the game early last night with his team getting buried? Meanwhile, you got Damian Lillard doing everything he possibly can to keep his team alive, putting up 55 and knocking down 12 threes, even in a losing effort.
This is something that we've seen from the early years of LeBron James in situations like that where he would leave off the court and obviously it not look very good. Now, obviously, I think LeBron has matured much more than that, and that's probably something that him and the coaching staff and the teammates have to work through. But it's always going to be media talk when LeBron does stuff like that. But, probably just a certain level of disgust. But in my opinion, you have to hang out there. We haven't seen this type of activity from LeBron for years now.
Do you think, Corey, that Anthony Davis is going to play next game?
No, I don't believe he plays next game. I think he tries to get out there for Game 7. I think they can have enough to get to a Game 7. But Anthony Davis and his injuries have been a problem all season long for the Laker team. Anthony Davis is a big dude. Charles Barkley called him on Street Clothes, Anthony Street Clothes Davis. And that's kind of been you know what I'm saying? You see Anthony with the street clothes a lot. But listen, this team did a late deep run last year in the bubble, playing all the way to October. So you saw what happened to the Miami Heat. Maybe the Lakers are starting to break down and show some of the wear and tear from that bubble stretch last year.
All right, real quick. The reason why I ask that is because I wonder if there's value. And look, so much of the first round, I think, has been live betting or at least hedging the hell out of what you've done initially. And it's been tough at times. But looking at this game specifically, looking at Phoenix getting 3 points on the look-ahead line, Corey, I wonder if it's worth jumping in now because you know how the public's going to move once Anthony Davis is confirmed out. I can't imagine that the value is going to jump up to maybe 4.5, 5, where people are pounding the Lakers. So I don't know, but I'm asking in your opinion, do you think there's any value in jumping ahead on Phoenix now before everything is confirmed with AD?
Yeah, I think you can try to get in there, especially if you want a situation where you can try to middle it. And obviously that's the best case scenario particularly in these NFL playoffs. If you want to get, NBA playoffs. If you want to get
already thinking ahead to the
NFL. I know, right? I'm already ready. If you want to get in pre-flop. But yeah, no, listen, I can definitely see a one-possession game. So I can see getting in there on that Suns number and then coming back and trying to hit that Lakers money line.
Well, speaking of guys in street clothes, Joel Embiid will be in street clothes tonight for a pivotal game in this series as they come back to Philly. Any risk here for the Sixers? Do you think they survive without him?
Yeah, they can survive without him. Ben Simmons down the stretch, hitting free throws is going to have to be critical because the Washington Wizards are going to give their best effort to try to get back into this series, especially with no Embiid for the 76ers. But we've seen stretches where the 76ers have played good basketball without Joel Embiid. Now, I am a Philadelphia 76ers supporter. This is a team that I think can win the championship this year. I have them beating the Brooklyn Nets and going on to the NBA Finals, but they're not going to be able to do any of that without a healthy Joel Embiid.
Well, I already know it's a foregone conclusion they're going to end this series, man. So I'll go on to their possible opponent. Talking about the team that's on your hat. Does Julius Randle have enough to combat?
I told you he is a realist at heart, Barrett. He's not going to let you get sweat on.
So I'm just being realistic, man. I see a guy like Taj Gibson, man. And what he brings to the table, his experience. He's an older player. He's been in these type of situations before. You look towards guys like that. You got Top, and he can go out there and fill it up a little bit. What is going to be? What is it? What way that this Knicks team can take it to another game? How can they do it, man?
Madison Square Garden. That's really it. Madison Square Garden. That last little push from the home crowd and from Derrick Rose to get going offensively. Because when you look at the construction of this Knicks basketball team, what you see is years of mismanagement. Like you said, this is a playoff series in 2021, and Taj Gibson is filling up the stat sheet. So listen, shout out to Coach Tibbs. He got him. He coached him up. Great season from Julius Randle. See improvements from RJ Barrett. Obviously, Derrick Rose playing great. But when you look at these two teams on paper, the Atlanta Hawks clearly have a better team. The New York Knicks they just fight and try very hard. But when you get to this level in the regular season, playing hard every night, that's cool. When you get to this level, playing hard every night, you're gonna have to have the talent. You know what I'm saying? And the talent is just not there on the Knicks roster. Maybe next year this time they can be talking about a team that's going to advance to the second round.
Yeah, they're a defensive-minded team, man, and it's tough to score when you're a defensive-minded team, man.
Yeah.
Is there any value in jumping in on this game? I don't even know from the total standpoint. Clearly, depending on where you are, we have it at 1.5 here, but the total at 208. I know that things have been tight, and clearly, if the Knicks are going to survive in this series, it's not going to be 130 to 128. But I just wonder, based on your heart and your brain, right, the two things that kind of combine when you talk about the squad, do you just wait? You don't have to make every bet, right? Is this just a wait and see game?
End game.
Yeah, for me, it will probably, the Knicks get off to that slow start because of their offense.
Yeah.
And then, you try to catch them the Knicks at about a +5 or a +6, something like that. Then hit them at that point, and then, just get prepared for the comeback. And if they don't win the game, at least you'll cover. This is probably, down to a 1-2 possession game. I would not be surprised if Trae Young hit some kind of shot to, to really like boost his lore as the next New York sports villain, kind of in the likes of the John Rockers and the Kurt Schillings and obviously the Reggie Millers, because that's coming for him now. He has played this perfectly, and that's coming for him. And at 22 years old, he's going to be a New York sports villain for years to come. So I can see that happening, but I think the Knicks get that final push, and then this series goes to Atlanta for a beatdown.
What about the clip show? Now, down 0-2, everybody had them for dead. They go on the road, win 2 games. Now they're going back home with a big chance to get Game 5. What do you see about this series?
Big number.
The Dallas Mavericks are one of the best road teams in the NBA. I believe they covered the spread in something like 57% of their road games this year. So I expected Dallas not to win the games, but play very closely on the road. Tonight, when I'm looking at the numbers, just analyzing the numbers, this looks like a Mavericks cover, but definitely a Clipper victory. So same type of ordeal. Try to catch it at a good spot. You know what I mean? To middle it. But I see Dallas getting out to a hard start. The Clippers coming back and winning this game. So I see about a 5 or 6 point Clipper victory. The Clippers are in a good spot. They're in a good spot right now. They are, especially what's going on with the Lakers right now. That was a team that I had eventually to cut down the Nets and win the championship. So them going down 0-2 was kind of scary. And they really struggled guarding Luka Doncic. There's probably going to be more of that tonight. But in the end, I think the Clippers will get through this series, and we'll see what's next. Maybe the matchups lap a little bit better for them. But, looking at the Utah Jazz, they may be the class of the West, but the Clippers, in my opinion, are still the class of the West.
Now, Corey gave you a couple of plays in there without even telling you what to play, with how hard Dallas is going to fight, how good they are on the road, and how quick they can come out. Harry's already knowing where I'm going here because we pound whenever we can first quarter action, especially in a contrarian mode in the NBA. Look, Dallas is plus 140 on the first quarter money line. You can lay 2.5 at plus 250 if you're really confident. Even if you wanted to be aggressive, you can push that, which I wouldn't, to a first half because I think the Clippers will come back, as you said, Corey, and at the very least win the second quarter. But, man, why not take advantage of that narrative, which is Dallas has really treating this like they're down, even though they're not, just to stay alive, and combine that with your analysis of how good Dallas is on the road. That's a perfect recipe for stealing the first quarter. Yeah,
no doubt. And Dallas can definitely do that. Another thing I don't know where they got to juice that right now, but what the price is, but this looks like a Luka Doncic triple-double game.
Ooh. Wow, even with the neck injury.
Wow.
Yeah, he's out there, and he gives it a go. He's really all they got. And he's going to need everything. They're going to need everything from him.
Well, looking at the same, looking kind of the same picture with the Wizards. You got Embiid being out. You can go double digits with rebounding with Westbrook. Points going in. With both their guards. How would you work that out?
When it comes to, first of all, the Russell Westbrook, it's so amazing that Russell Westbrook, the triple-double, is like minus 250, which is just insane that's where it's going. But his points, rebounds, assists, you normally get that at around minus 110, and it's a good opportunity to hit that right there. I think the Wizards come out strong tonight, but the 76ers are a deep, talented team. Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons, those guys get it rolling. And really, I think that they can finish the Wizards off tonight.
Man. All right, let's look at this really quick because, just going down the list here, there are going to be a couple of guys that should have some pretty big nights. And, you mentioned it's a Luka night for triple-double without Joel Embiid going up against a team that the Sixers will beat, even if it comes down to a bucket. There really is no other option, but I would think to hammer Tobias Harris over props, right? And if you can get points and rebounds, and assists, you might as well just hammer the hell out of that, Corey.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a Tobias Harris night when it comes to the props. I never like to play Simmons on the prop. Maybe you can get the Simmons to hit a 3 prop. That's when that one is always pretty cool. Just to hit a 3, you get it at plus 10,000. But yeah, it's Tobias Harris. And I also, listen, I'm a big fan of Seth Curry. I think he has really been critical for this team. He really allows them to spread the court. With last season, when people were talking about after the Clippers collapsed, and they was told, you got to fire Doc Rivers. And I was like, why in the hell would you fire Doc Rivers? And he comes to Philadelphia and he turns the team that was really a helter-skelter team into the regular season's best team in the Eastern Conference.
Well, looking at
hold on, I'm sorry. Hold that real quick because we're going to break on the network. We're still live on the stream. Corey Parson in the house at the Fantasy Exec on Twitter. Senior sports betting content, all at NBC Sports Bet, NBC Sports. We're back in 3 on SportsMap Radio. Go ahead, Barrett. Sorry.
No, I really see value. I'm not a betting guy, but I see a lot of value in Matisse Thybulle with blocks and steals. I would try to look at that. When he's going to get substantial minutes with Embiid not being there and the fact that they're playing with a guard-heavy team, I see him as a guy that's going to try to put on, both of those guards. So steals, blocks, probably be something I look at, maybe rebounds also.
Thybulle's a very good player. I like him. He's a very good defender. He's coming along pretty nicely. Who would you rather have, Thybulle or DeAndre Hunter?
I would go Thybulle just because of size.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably going to get more consistency on offense from Hunter.
Hunter, definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's the trade-off, right?
Yeah, that's the trade-off right there. Is Hunter for offense.
Thibel's not terrible. What's he shooting? Like over 30% from three. He's not a guy you can rely on, but if he's open in the corner and he just happens to have the ball, I don't feel I'm not like, don't shoot it.
He has the stones to put it up at least.
No, he will do it.
Very, very similar players in the way they play the game. That's why that came to my mind.
That's a good question, though.
Well, the reason I say that is just because he's long, physically, he plays the game, faster. So if he get in the game, we can get up and down the court. I'll go with Thibault more so anyways.
Yeah. And I think Tyrese Maxey's a good player too. Listen, that's what you see in the playoffs, these teams that do a good job putting these rosters together.
Well, yeah, I mean, Maxey, you got to credit him. He's been out playing Shake down the stretch and then early in this series. And Doc is like, hey, I'm going to go there. He showed a lot of stones in that loss. Maxey played as for a rookie that's not a top 3 or whatever pick where it's expected. He showed a lot of stones, man.
Those players from the University of Kentucky are normally pretty well set when they come into the NBA.
Yeah,
that's a great point. You're right.
I don't think Doc's a big shakesman.
No, I think he's kind of looking for an excuse, but Tyrese gave it to him.
Yeah,
right. Gave it to him. Hey, real quick, because I know you say you don't like to play him, but I think tonight this number seems a little low, especially because we know that other guys like Danny Green and Seth Curry are going to get the rock a lot. It's not even that juice, Corey. The under is juiced, but the total for Simmons' assist is 7.5. Seems a little low.
That's a little low.
It's real low.
Yeah,
especially with the under juiced.
Oh,
I like that. I think that's a good one to hit right there.
Over.
I did not know that was sitting at 7.5. I think you have one of those big statistical games from Ben Simmons. When it comes to Simmons, man, when you get into some of these bigger series, and they can handle the Hawks.
You're right.
When you get to that series with the Nets, they're going to look to put him on the free throw line late in the game, and that could be an issue.
Drive. I got to say, man, as much as Dame, rightfully so, had the spotlight last night, and look, this is not new, Dame Dollar and Dame Time, right? Dame Time is not a new moniker. We've been talking about Dame Time for a minute, but I have to say this, and I know that we're in Philly and all this other stuff, Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals. It's really fun to watch the Brooklyn Nets when those three guys are cooking.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
Yeah, no.
Hold on, real quick.
Hold on, we're coming back.
And Harry Mays.
Knicks fan, but really, sports savant, betting savant, Corey Parson in the house. I had to throw the Nets thing out there just to see Corey, who is New York to the bone, of course. Knicks to the bone, of course, thinking, man, get these bridge and tunnel Nets fans out of my city. But come on, you have to admit, at the fantasy exec on Twitter for Corey, you have to admit that we've seen it now for like 2 games so far, really, in the playoffs. But those 3 in Brooklyn are fun to watch together, man.
I put my head down and I shake my head because I really tried to avoid the Brooklyn Nets at all costs. That is not a New York basketball team. That team has no relations to New York City. That is the ABA team that was playing with a red, white, and blue basketball not too long ago. But when you look, James Harden was so amazing to me. And when they are on, and when they're on, they're moving the groove, and I just have to turn the TV off because I do not. Let me tell you something. Nothing can be worse this summer than watching the Brooklyn Nets have a parade in the Canyon of Champions. Somebody has to beat the Brooklyn Nets. Somebody has to beat the Brooklyn Nets.
Corey's rooting for the Sixers. He just told you, see? Maybe the Bucks, but
Bucks will take care of that. Yeah, Bucks will take care of that.
Now, we've got about a minute and 10. Who do you like in this series, Milwaukee, Brooklyn?
Brooklyn will win the series. I think Brooklyn wins the series in 5 games. I think Milwaukee got the luck of the draw with the Miami or with a beat up Miami Heat team. I do not think the Bucks are that good.
Real quick, some tumult up in Boston. Who do you think's the next head coach?
It's interesting. I hear the name Jason Kidd floating around. I also heard Lloyd Pierce. I would not hire Lloyd Pierce. You saw as soon as Lloyd Pierce left Atlanta, the team improved. I think Jason Kidd is going to be a guy that's going to be looked at. I would try to get Dwayne Casey out of Detroit.
That's a good call. Yeah, I'm sure he would love to get out of Detroit, right?
Oh, yeah. Everybody wants to get out of Detroit.
All right.
Thank you, brother. As always, Corey, it's a pleasure, man. We appreciate your time.
My man, good stuff. Enjoy it, y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Corey Parson at the Fantasy Exec on Twitter. We are back in 3 to start the hour here on the middle. Like, share, subscribe, the notification bell. You don't want to miss anything here on the JAKIB Media YouTube page.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
That guy's good.
Yeah, he was. Man, at this point, man, I some of the stuff is starting to make sense to me. It's starting to scare me, bro.
What's that? The gambling stuff?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I really like Thibault and steals and blocks.
Yeah, that 7.5 number on assists for Ben seems
really low.
Yeah, I think he's got double digits tonight. Krause's Kangol hat at 50-1 for Parles. I don't think that's going to hit.
No. I'm going with the orange. I don't know what orange.
He loves that orange Ricky Fowler hat.
Yeah. That's
he actually needs to add more hats to the wardrobe, knowing that this is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me he rotates like 3 or 4 hats. I hate to do it.
Barrett's out on the Waldorf chicken salad.
Well, because that has nuts in it, right? Doesn't that have some, is it almonds or walnuts or something?
It's walnuts, grapes.
Love walnuts.
Walnuts,
not Pauly walnuts.
Apple.
Yeah, I like the grapes in there too. I kind of like the Waldorf chicken salad.
You know what? I can't get past. I can't get past that. I look at it and I can't see the mayo with the apple and the mayo with the grapes. So I can't even.
Tastes good.
I never tried it.
Tastes good.
I haven't even tried it before.
Right.
Hey, Shan, I was telling him some of that stuff is starting to make sense to me. I'm starting to get scared, bro.
What do you mean?
This betting stuff.
Well, you're on a show.
It's osmosis.
Not this show. You're on a show called Beating Your Bookie.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think?
You're corrupting me. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I really like Dallas with the points.
Oh, Orange hat 15-1. I'm going with Orange.
Man, I had that last night. So I had a 3-leg parlay, right? Where I played the 3 lightest public bets. So basically the least amount of public money, I went 1, 2, 3 in order, right? Mm-hmm. So Baltimore, and there was another team as well.
Talking baseball?
No, it was a 3-leg parlay. Here,
This is a Gow Media property in partnership with JAKIB Media.
And you, my friend, are caught in the middle.
The Middle starts now on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, so I was just saying this here in the break as we're live on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, live and local from the Fritz and B and Cooley Law Studios here in Philadelphia and across the nation on SportsMap Radio. We just had Corey Parson on, so we're talking a lot of betting, and Barrett saying how it's starting to make sense now, even though he's on a betting show outside of the show, but that's for...
I'm sure the producers of that show are glad to hear that. We got to send them that audio.
Right.
Jansen. I mean, he's basically that station. So
yeah.
Anything you want, send to Jansen.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Last night, I played a 3-leg parlay, and the only criteria I applied was looking at where the least amount of the public money was on. And I went in order and said, all right, give me the least amount to the second least amount to the third least amount. Basically, what they say, Barrett, fade the public, yeah, because they don't know anything. So what the hell? Well, that was the Orioles getting 1.5, number 1. The least played bet, that hit. Tampa Bay Lightning getting 1.5 goals, second least played bet. That hit. Tampa Bay plus 1.5. The third was Boston plus 12.5. Now, I don't know if you stayed up, because I know Harry didn't stay up to watch the end of that game, but I, as somebody who had Boston plus 12.5, sure as hell stayed up for that game. And guess what? Okay. Down, all right, down with a chance for a just lob pass from Pritchard to whoever the hell was in front of him. I think it was Tatum, but I forget. The ball, it's a wide open look if you just make a basic lob pass in the NBA.
And
but
it out of
bounds, right? Yeah. And then Brooklyn runs the clock out, and then Boston runs the clock out.
Yeah.
That layup goes in. Boston covers. Brooklyn runs the clock out. I walk away happy. Kicked in the absolute stones last night.
And I was up to watch the end of that, because if you were listening earlier in the show, I told you I saw the first quarter of the Lakers Suns, because I was interested in that over in that Boston-Milwaukee game, Boston Brooklyn game, excuse me. That got close to hitting, even though it had no business early in the fourth quarter.
Right, man.
Right.
I mean, they were keeping it close. They were only down by 8 with like 3 minutes left, and all of a sudden, man, they just start taking turns. All 3 on the big 3, just 3 here, 3 here, 3 here.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Craziness. Unbelievable. A stinking layup. That's it. Just a lob pass. I was sitting there are you serious? Are you serious?
Well, they missed like two layups in a row. Just easy layups also. Easy, almost uncontested.
There's just something very entertaining about watching a guy the size of Kevin Durant shoot threes and just play the game of basketball. It's amazing.
Man. There was one he hit late in the fourth quarter, or whenever it was, like before he got pulled.
It was late in the third, I think.
Was it late? You know what I'm talking about, right? Where he's on top of the screen and he dribbles once, and you're thinking he's just setting something up on the offense, and then he just pulls, and it's like, really?
And it all happens so fast too. You know,
That's
he
Dirk.
gathers. Yeah, right.
That's what Dirk was a 7-footer with a shot that you could not alter.
You can't, you cannot jump him.
He was. Now, of course, Durant is like 10 times more athletic but he doesn't need to be. Like, Durant isn't really taking guys off the rack like Kyrie and James Harden are.
Bro, Kyrie takes them from everywhere. He could be 8 feet from the 3-point line. He'll just shoot it. He'll come down and just shoot. There'll be nobody under the boards.
Yeah.
He'll shoot it.
And he does a lot of alternate platforms. You talk about quarterbacks getting throws off with alternate platforms.
Right.
Or whatever they call it. Kyrie does that with shooting from anywhere on the court.
Yeah, bro,
he's incredible.
Perfect defense on him. And all of a sudden he jumps up to shoot a jump shot. And the guy comes up and he's about to block it. He'll be almost hitting the ground and then he'll shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When he jumps and coming down. And as he's coming down, he shoots it and hits it. Unbelievable.
Man.
So you tell me you have those three, man. How do you stop those three? You know, I mean, even if you're the Bucks, how do you stop those three?
You don't. No, nobody does. Nobody does. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, they can score 140 points in a blink of an eye.
So why do people have so much? I mean, I understand, the Greek freak is there, but I don't understand how you expect them to beat that Nets team. That Nets team is.
I don't know. That's the thing. To be honest with you, I don't even expect Philly to beat that Nets team if they're playing like that.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, Danny Green, Seth Curry, these guys are going to need to have career series. But look, Embiid, shoot, you can have Embiid turn more into a 3-point shooter as well. Bring people out.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but you gotta, man, trade threes for twos, right?
You see who's trending now as a result of this situation in Boston?
Who?
Coach K.
Oh,
jeez.
I saw Big E, the wrestler, was trending. Really? Well, that second half overhit, huh? In the Blazers Nuggets game.
I guess so.
Sportsman Radio
You go to 2 OTs.
Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios.
Oh.
Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Yeah, it wasn't all bad last night. I did see a reputable account on Twitter that I follow that will throw a free pick every now and again out to the masses. And they pounded the over 110.5 second half points for the Blazers and Nuggets. I jumped in as I saw that tweet. There was, 2 minutes gone in the third, and the total actually dropped to 106.5. And let me say this, it had no problem hitting. Double overtime, Dame time, Joker in the house. That thing destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. I don't know, outside of tonight's Sixers game, I love the Hawks tonight. Absolutely love the Hawks tonight. But I don't think there's a confidence level in that. I don't know. I don't feel like you guys like the Hawks like I do tonight. Are you going to rely on Julius Randle again to save you?
No. I just don't see the Knicks being able to stop the Hawks. I mean, they play complimentary ball, man. They that's what makes them.
They pass the ball. They pass. It's like 3-4 good passes until they take a shot. Like it was. I like the way they play.
Exactly, man. You got Bogdanovic, man. He is. You look at him, man. He just makes things happen. He's not flashy.
Yeah.
He just makes things happen, man. He runs around and nobody even sees him, and all of a sudden he's shooting from 3-point range and he's hitting. You have one of those type of players, and then I love to hate. I mean, actually love to hate Young, man. I hate him.
And also that Collins kid's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
kid from Wake Forest.
Yep.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
No, he's really good.
No, absolutely. I think when you look at this whole series, it's been kind of shifted, right? And like the life is kind of out of the sails of one team. Same thing with Dallas. Now, I was leaning heavy on the Clippers and thinking, well, the Clippers would be able to come in and win this game. But I think Corey's right, where Dallas has played tough on the road, and they did win 2, which is to say that they could at least hang. That's all I really need them to do tonight with the 7-point line is to hang. But man, I don't think that they're cooked like the Knicks are cooked. Washington is dead. Like Washington isn't winning tonight. We know that. That's an aside. We don't need to keep beating that horse down. But I don't know. Like Memphis, again, I don't think Memphis can cover a 9-point spread either. Like I don't think Washington can cover a 6.5-point spread sans Embiid.
Yeah, now there was a story that came out of of course, the Utah Jazz Memphis series that was not good. And that was the fans and what they were apparently saying, yelling, towards Ja Morant's family, right, in the arena.
Yeah.
So apparently the Jazz have extended courtside seats to his family members for the game. Now, if you're them, would you really want that? If you're going to the game, you're going to support your Ja and that team, whatever. It's probably a closeout game. I would say thank you, but can't we have a suite? Because I don't want to be a part of any on-court nonsense. You know what I mean? And be out in the open there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like if you're going to go to the game, you want to just go. Okay, give us a suite.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to be involved with all that.
Yeah. Then I can get on the elevator because as the Jazz are up 15 with about 2.5 minutes to go, and we can get the hell out of there.
Yeah,
like that's my move.
Just to be completely removed from it all.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
You don't have to. You know you're going to get taken care of in the suite, right? You can live that sweet life.
Right. Live the sweet life.
That's sweet life.
Yeah. Take advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's big time, man. That sweet life. I miss the sweet life.
Yeah.
No more of that for me.
And how about the lack of production from some of those Lakers starters last night? Schroeder was terrible.
Did he score a point?
I don't know if he scored.
Did he do anything?
No, he didn't.
I tell you,
he had 0 points.
Yes, I know that.
He was 0 for 9 from the field. That's 0 points.
Wow,
brutal.
That
team.
is
They're
crazy.
not good.
Man.
Like they're not a good team.
And
the
KCP
record without
stinks.
LeBron, the record. Yeah, I mean, come on, Kyle Kuzma. You're not going to be able to rely on these guys.
Well, I mean, I thought Kyle Kuzma. I thought he gave him a lot more. Yeah, I mean, he'll fight. He's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? But he scored 11.
Yeah, that's what I'm
15.
saying.
Yeah, 15.
Oh,
Yeah.
15. But that's the point of that is that these are coming in situations where the team doesn't need him to do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, somebody's going to get the ball and somebody's going to get a chance to go score. It's like a pickup game at that point where it's like, all right, man, you have a matchup, go ahead. It's not like, hey, Kuz, man, we really need this bucket. Let's go,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Our old buddy we need you. Give me something. We need you.
Right.
I'm trying to look. They don't have that. They don't have that on the team. I'm looking at it. They don't have that on the team. You look at their roster.
Davis and LeBron James. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they don't. I don't see anything else on the team who can give you that legitimately for 4 quarters.
KCP, THT, Kuz. Nope.
THT.
No.
Not THC.
No.
Yeah.
Not TNT.
How about that Ben McLemore on that roster? That guy was the #1 pick in the draft years ago.
Yeah.
He is a bum.
I tried to sneak him in on a DFS lineup last night. Didn't work.
Yeah.
The lineup made money, but no, he didn't work. It was disgraceful. Yeah, I know. That's what it is, man. Like LeBron always has some of these guys hanging, right?
Yep.
Where it's just like, oh yeah, I remember he was a former pick where he didn't work out, or it's like, damn, that dude is still in the NBA. It's one of these two that he always has one of the or two of these guys are they're locker room guys. They're great locker room guys.
Yeah. Good in the room.
Ben McLemore's a good locker room dude. Balances out LeBron.
I'd rather have McLemore the rapper.
No.
I'm trying to look. All I'm saying, well, shoot, I used to be one of those guys.
Look, you'd rather have Ben McLemore.
Great locker room guy, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't expect anything, but he's a great locker room guy.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, he's a swing tackle.
Right.
But you know what? If the right quarterback goes to the coach and says, hey, man, or the right quarterback goes to the GM and says, hey, man, I feel comfortable with Brooksy in front of me, then you're at least going to get a look at camp. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man,
know?
Bring him in those heavy packages inside the red zone, too.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
The third tight end.
We're not gonna throw to him, but we put him out there.
But he's eligible.
Block an edge.
He's eligible.
He can block an edge, but don't send him anywhere. If you look, they call it past me. I may have said no. I'm staying in solid. Send somebody else out there.
Oh my goodness, amazing, isn't it?
Let's
Amazing.
do the Let's play the Barrett. No.
No.
We're not running Barrett.
You want Barrett? No. They shut you down faster than Corey Parson on the next question.
Hey, coach, you want? No.
Nope.
I'm gonna call a timeout. Hey, timeout.
What would that be too? Because it wouldn't be Philly. It wouldn't like. What was the block that you grew up on in St. Louis? Like that's what it would be, right? It would be something like that.
Kenlock.
Yeah, you want Kenlock? No, man. Telling the quarterback like, come on.
I'm liable to call timeout. He says, "All right, we got Kenlock on three. Ready, break." Right. Ready. Everybody's walking to the line. I'm calling time. Hey,
right.
Timeout, coach. Hey, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
John, is there something to it? There's something to it.
Bro, I stayed in the league because just that instance right there, because coaches knew they could just count on me for short stretches. Don't try to start me in the game at the end of my career. Don't try to start me in the game, but put him in. He'll give you quality reps for a short amount of time. You can't push it too far, but those quality reps, he's gonna give you it all. But once it's all given, he ain't got much left.
Fair enough.
I had a great coach, man. That's what it was, man.
Well, speaking of Pittsburgh, do you see Big Ben saying he's taking a pay cut?
No.
Well, he has to. He knew he had to.
Yeah.
I wonder why it took this long.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, what was the alternative? To pull that Drew Brees where you're at the end of the rope, but you still take all that money?
Yeah, he was
selfish Drew Brees pulling in all that big time money.
Well, he wants to play longer than just this year.
Right.
That's what it is. So if he knew if if he didn't do that, then they wouldn't prolong his career. They wouldn't give him another contract. They would just give him the money for this year and then cut ties with him, period.
Yeah, and
he wants more.
It's being marketed as it was his idea. He's quoted as saying it was my idea. So now he looks really good.
I hate to do it to you.
Yeah.
Amazing, right? Claiming credit for something all of a sudden. That's my fault.
Something that was inevitable.
Yes.
Right. You are going to take a pay cut. And all right, it's my idea.
It should have been done in like March, February.
Control the narrative.
They had money. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Control the narrative.
You have to, man. You have to.
No, it's so true.
$5 million he reduced his pay.
Well, is that going to help anything immediately?
No. So what? So he's now making like 25 million or something like that then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had to do that. He didn't have some sort of inception where he placed the bug in somebody's ear. It was just a matter of what the hell else are you going to do?
Right? Kevin probably called him. Kevin said, hey, man, we got to sign this person. We got to sign this rookie here. We need about $5 million. You need to come off about $5 million. Give me that.
And Zach Ertz is still an Eagle.
Still an Eagle. We still have yet. Nothing has happened. Has anybody of note been cut? Has anybody of note been sent home as a result of June 1st and cut day and all this stuff happening here in the NFL?
Let me look at that.
Oh.
You know what the major thing is that nobody's really talking about is the fact that they're going to have camp and everybody's going to be there in camp, just like it was 4 years ago or 3 years ago. Teams are going to get better because all the guys will be able to be around each other. You know what I'm saying? Back to business.
Mm-hmm. No more virtual sessions.
Right. I like that, man.
Well, yeah. Plus, it might give us a little more content.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard to get content out of virtual camps.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. Those guys that provide content aren't going to be able to watch much practice anyway. They get to watch stretching, see who's out there, and then that's it anyway. The steel curtain is pulled right back in front of everybody.
Yep.
It's still better, though.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying we don't get any access anyway. They'll probably think about it. They'll probably still do all the stuff on Zoom at that point once the reporters are sent back after they get to see everybody stretching. It's wild, man. It's wild. By the way, did I not predict this? Kate Winslet on, this is from the New York Times, which I don't know, I don't even subscribe to, but it was retweeted into my timeline.
Yeah.
So I couldn't help but laughing. Kate Winslet on why audiences fell in love with her Mayor of Easttown character, how she learned to emulate a Philly accent. Nothing more than that. I'm telling you, the show was completely and we did this because we can't handle something. We reduced this show to, oh my God, Kate Winslet nailed our accent. No wonder why Barrett won't watch this show. I don't blame him.
Drinking Rolling Rocks and shots of Jameson.
Seriously, put some kid in a random Flyers jersey and it's, oh my God, it's like the Goldbergs. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, shame on you people. You made the Goldbergs a popular program because it had a reference to Philadelphia sports.
Yeah, but I don't feel bad for having watched it. I thought it was pretty good.
No. I agree. It was definitely worth the return. I just feel like it's being like, I would love to see people actually have a conversation, a nuanced conversation about this show and about how deep of a drama it was and how it did explore trauma. It reminds me a lot of a show called Broadchurch. If anybody's seen
saw that.
Yeah. Small town dealing with trauma, police officer who's also part of the small town. It just happened to be in our town here, mythical East Town. But who knows?
Well, guys, speaking of this cut, I mean, there's been nobody cut as of right now.
Well, that's what I said like 3 minutes ago.
I mean, I'm looking, nowhere.
I said something, I let it out there.
Right.
We're back in 3. We got to take a quick one here. Jeff Parles is going to join us coming up at 12:40. That's 14 minutes from now. Until then, it's the middle here on the JAKIB Media YouTube page and Sports Map Radio.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Watching a new show now. It's a
What's that?
BBC show that's on Netflix. It ran in 2015 through 2017, 3 seasons.
What is it?
Dr. Foster, it's called.
Dr. Foster.
First couple episodes, pretty good.
This is The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, Jeff Parles comes up. I see all the odds for the hats. Nothing else.
Yeah, I'm a little out on the hat. I think it's kind of run its course because he doesn't have enough in his wardrobe. He keeps rolling out the same one. This orange Puma Ricky Fowler hat every like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
He needs more in his repertoire.
I hate to do it to Parles, but man, he needs more hats.
Or we just need to kill the bit, right?
Well, I mean, it's the stream that does the odds, but I think they have to be even to be a little out. It's on Jeff to increase the wardrobe, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, I think you're right. It is on Jeff to increase wardrobe opportunity more so than anything else, by all means. I'm still waiting, by the way, on that verification request.
Did you from Twitter? Yeah, that's a fraud.
I think so, right?
That is a fraud. Just like the rest of that app.
Well, you're not going to get an argument from me. I was just curious. Did you make it through the actual process?
I don't even care anymore.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I keep losing Twitter followers by the hundreds. I don't know why.
For no reason.
No reason.
No, it doesn't make any sense because when I started working for the other site there on Osimo, I was gaining people in just that community just through proxy of being on there. And I would see numbers go down in spite of gaining from where I was after last looking, just to look at it. So who knows? I mean, it could be them purging. It could be fake accounts that they're removing. It could be them just purposely having an issue with you and your account.
Maybe.
Which is fine. I was just curious if you went through. That's all.
No, I didn't. Nothing has happened. I see they're requesting some golf selections for the Memorial this week. One of my guys is Hideki Matsuyama. I'll just say that. Go listen to my podcast if you want the picks.
The 2 guys I would look at for top 20 at least would be Cantlay and Emiliano.
Grillo?
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
50-1. Just came up short at Charles Schwab. Top 10. It's playing well. Emiliano. It's got a good roll to it.
There's a good play too. Kyle Stanley. Kyle Stanley plays really well in this tournament. Played well last week. He's plus 250 for a top 30. That's value.
Plus 250, top 30.
Kyle Stanley.
You giving us that? I'll play it just on your tail there. Now I don't think I'm gonna bet on this Logan Paul Mayweather thing.
Oh my God.
That's this weekend, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Look, this is how bad it's gotten. It's an exhibition boxing match that won't produce an official winner.
Really?
So there will be no judges along the ringside, and an official winner will not be announced, according to the spokesperson for Florida's Department of Business and Professional Regulation. The spokesperson did say knockouts are not prohibited, and any stoppages would be up to the referee's discretion. So you do have a ref there, but you don't have judges. 8 3-minute rounds, not even officially sanctioned by the Florida State Boxing Commission. Now, if you sit down and watch this, you really can't expect the world to take you seriously anymore.
No, I agree.
I think you give up your right to be taken seriously, just in life.
Just the whole gimmick, and that's what I'm calling it, a gimmick. Just the whole gimmick.
It is a gimmick.
It is a gimmick. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, if anything, you trying to tell me that the best pound for pound fighter is gonna go out and fight a guy that's not really a professional boxer, like really a professional boxer, and just listen to what Paul's saying. He's saying stuff like well, I have nothing to lose. He has everything to lose. If I beat him, then I beat the best pound for pound boxer. He beats me. He just beat up a guy that's, an internet sensation.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is not Mike Tyson, who needs a fight after prison and is lining up Peter McNeely.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest Mayweather fan. I mean, I know I admire his skills. He's the greatest pound for pound fighter. I get all that. But I am totally rooting for him to knock this guy's head off.
Right.
Because I think all internet sensations should have their head knocked off if they choose to get in the ring.
This is what should happen to the guy who spit on Trey Young or dump the pot.
Yes.
Yeah.
They should get into the ring with Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
And just get pummeled up, because Mayweather's not going to knock you out. Even guys like he's not going to knock us out with one punch. He's just going to hit you and hit you and hit you and hit you. No, I'm saying, like, he's going to work you over on purpose. He's not going to come in there and try and knock you out. He's going to methodically work the court rusher or spitter or whoever it may be. He's going to work him for 3 minutes for 8 rounds.
He might not even hit you in the face for three periods, and then all of a sudden, he's just gonna keep working the body, so you feel every punch. Just gonna keep working the body, tenderizing that body up, man, hitting you in the ribs, hitting you in the side,
Different life. All right, real quick, what do you like better? Harris going over 25.5 points or Simmons going over 7.5 assists?
Simmons over 7.5 assists.
Me too.
I think that's a short shot.
All right, now what do you like better?
I still like the Harris over 20 points easy also.
No, it's 25.5.
25.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what do you like better? Simmons over 7.5 assists or the Sixers laying 6.5 at home without Embiid?
Still going with Ben.
I'm inclined to as well.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I got Cantlay in there. Who is your plus 250 long shot?
Well, no, it was a top 30 play. Kyle Stanley.
Stanley. I wonder if I could work Stanley in here in the top 20. All right, we're going to chat with Jeff Parles coming up next. A schmooze with Parles coming up next on the middle. All right. I got Simmons over 7.5, Mavs plus 7, Jazz minus 9, Cantlay top 20. I need.
Yeah, what are you getting for Cantlay top 20? Plus 1 something?
No. It's minus 120.
Oh, you got to lay money for that. Wow.
Minus 133 on Fox Bet. Well, yeah. Here's the thing. This is all going to be worked in a 3-bet round robin.
I got you.
But I need 2 more. Give me one more.
He's won there before.
Yeah, I don't hate that, man. You said Kyle Stanley. Emiliano Grillo is plus 187.
Top 20. Yeah.
That's not terrible, right?
I took Keegan Bradley over Billy Horschel in a matchup.
Okay. Boy, Kyle Stanley, where is he top 20? That's got to be pretty high, right?
Yeah. That's got to be.
Camijo Vegas. Michael Thompson is there? No.
No.
All right, I'm going to just go back to where we said, boy, Bryson and Rory. Didn't Rory withdraw?
I'm not sure.
You said Fitzpatrick or Reed you had? I'm sorry, or neither?
Neither. I like Fitzpatrick, though, at this golf course.
Was it Keegan Bradley you said?
Yeah, Keegan Bradley in a matchup.
He's plus 150 as a top 20 matchup though. So
minus 122 over Horschel. I took that.
That's not terrible. Boy, do you just roll some dice on Ricky Fowler right now?
Yeah, I put him in top 20 for plus 175.
I can get him at 225 top 20.
Really? Where?
Fox Bet.
Well, they're out of their minds.
Plus 225. That's it. No, I have to take it just off principle. That really off.
Yeah.
They won't let me parlay this stupid stuff. How can you not parlay 2 different guys finishing on the same course? It's mind-boggling. I'm going to play Fowler separately. Oh, shit. I probably should.
Kyle Stanley's plus 400 in top 20.
Wow.
I have him top 30 at plus 250.
I replaced Fowler with Cantley. All right. Last.
You could take Victor Hovland every week, top 5. The guy's that good. I see the stream play action reel was asking about him. There's no value with him though, but the thing is, if you just want to have a guy who to root for that's going to perform, he's one of the guys.
Yeah, it's a good way to get you in watching.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Vegas, man, plus 1.5 on the puck line tonight. Only 162 on the juice.
They got buried in game 1. They played the other goaltender and got slaughtered.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be able to come back, right? No?
Yeah. No, they're going to win one game at least in this series, no?
Is this the game? What happened to Vegas?
The middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Colorado's that good.
Vegas was that good at one point.
Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry May.
All right, we're waiting on our buddy Jeff Parr. I didn't see Jeff yet. Maybe he's not coming today.
Maybe he's getting a new hat. Maybe he went to Lids.
Look, Jeff is always early, so there's a concern, of course. Maybe I said to him at the wrong maybe I got the wrong guy. You never know.
Maybe I got the wrong guy.
Guys, man.
I do need a play tonight. I need one more. I'm fishing for one more. I could tell you this, as far as the likelihood to hit. I mean, if you just want an individual prop from another game, you could always look at, points and rebounds. But I think tonight, if you wanted to start with points, John Morant continues to have this number up at 25.5 and fell once again last game under that number. And the books keep going back to 25.5. It's just a big number for him to get to with so much focus on him. And the other one, surprisingly, because if you don't think Atlanta wins this game and you're taking the Knicks, don't you kind of have to double that with going under 25.5 for Trae Young?
Yeah.
Mitchell's at 27.5. These are big numbers, man. These are hard numbers to get to consistently in the playoffs.
I agree. Yeah, you got to figure they're all juiced by maybe 1.5, 2 points.
Yep.
From over where they really should be.
Yeah,
what's Julius Randle? What's his number look like?
I will tell you right now. I imagine too that it's going to be favored a little bit to, depending on the number. Let me give you the number first, because I imagine it's going to be favored a little bit to the under, and it is just slightly though. It's 23.5. Again,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially, here's the thing, Barrett, especially for a guy that we've seen has had so many incredibly slow starts.
Yes.
That's not somebody that could just turn it up and get you 20 in 12 minutes and a quarter.
Now, you think it's you think it's that high because they're going to be, in the Garden?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And they need him to play well if they're going to win a game and get get it back to Atlanta. So
you might be able to get Joe, depending on the book, they may not offer it, but Joe Ingles at 7.5 over is really strong. And look, I don't know, like Seth Curry's rebounds are 3.5. Now it's juiced to the under, but wouldn't you come on, you're not 4 rebounds? What's he going to be doing out there getting 4 rebounds?
What'd you think about the opening line for that Brooklyn series? They're only a 4.5 point favorite at home.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. That's a little short to me.
And I know. I don't know how. Again, I think they're going to be bet.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably going to see that at what, like 5.5 maybe by close?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 days from now.
That's what I mean.
Jesus.
What's Embiid's rebounds?
Embiid's rebound, or Embiid's off the board.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, because
he's not playing.
The expectation
not
is
Embiid. I'm sorry, not Embiid, but Simmons.
Oh.
Simmons rebound
wasn't terrible. Simmons is at
9.5.
You look at it, 9.5. You can get 8.5.
I'd take that over too.
It looks.
I think I go over with that.
Yeah, I think he's going to have one of these 12 rebounds, 13 assists kind of games.
Yes, and I think he's going to spend a lot of time in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: without Joel Embiid, actually, this becomes a really good play here. One that I think might even be better than the Simmons over 7.5 assists. And that's Russell Westbrook over 12.5 rebounds.
Yes.
He's leading rebounder. Joel Embiid is out.
Yeah.
That might be the play of the night.
Wow. Yep. I think you got to parlay all of these.
Well, you can't do it in game. That's the thing. Like, I can't same game.
No, I'll quote Gil Alexander. You got to go pre-flop here. Can't you parlay all of those, like the Simmons over Embiid or rebounds and assists, and Westbrook over and rebounds?
No, I can't parlay stuff in the same game. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? No, they won't even let me parlay 2 golfers in the same tournament. It's that ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yes. See, not everything is good. I gave you that whole spiel on the legalization of the flower earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The legalization of betting is crippling here. Crippling. I can't even place the teaser on this one app.
I think Parles is blowing us off.
I think so, too. I think Jeff Parles has absolutely had it.
He's had it.
I think he's just sick and freaking tired of dealing with Joey B and these odds and us with these questions.
The greatest one was when he was at the zoo.
Yeah. That might have done it.
I think that cooked it.
You may have pissed him off, Harry.
Yeah. I told him not to go to the cougar exhibit, or I asked him if he was going to go to the cougar exhibit.
Yeah, that might have done it.
My girlfriend's here.
Like,
my fiance's here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, hey, man. You can see him doing something one of these. Like, come on, really?
Yeah. Again, another guy who's probably not in charge of his own domain. You know what I mean?
Well, he was up playing on the road too. Like, where were they? The St. Louis Zoo?
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, that's not his hometown. It's not like he could direct traffic and say, this is where we got to go. It's a little different.
Oh,
Here. I'm at the zoo right now, and I'm going to eat me a big lunch.
By the way, I'm going under 5.5 Barrett rebounds, not Barrett Brooks.
No, RJ.
RJ.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All
Wow,
right.
This is something, man. Parles just absolutely demolishing us.
Yeah. And to think that we turned down the idea of a third guest because we had Parles today.
We were going to reach out to Mike Mutnansky up in Boston.
Right.
And bring on somebody from Boston to talk about this. And instead we get what? We get nothing. We don't even get a response, a text, an email, nothing. Boy, this is a quick way to find your way on the out list.
Oh, my goodness. But did you hear?
Wait a second. I'm getting word now. I'm getting an update here. Hold on a second. I just got a text from Jeff Parles. Said, sorry, fellas, was running a little bit late. I emailed Barrett for the heads up.
Oh, so Barrett did not check his emails.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Barrett, all you had to do was click open and we would have known this.
Wow.
That's it.
Oh my goodness. I hate to do it to him, but it's over.
Man, that's outrageous.
Yeah, over. You're right.
Hey, so we haven't talked about replacement for the Celtics head coach. And I see some guys that are, been hanging around Philly a little bit, Sam Cassell.
Yeah.
It's a possible candidate. Yeah. Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm. I think Kid's gonna be on that short list for any opening.
Right.
Not the short bus.
No.
Okay. The short
I
list.
saw him Mark Jackson trending on Twitter.
Mark Jackson's always gonna he's like Jay Wright trending whenever the Sixers needed a head coach. It's like, there's Mark Jackson.
Right.
He's gonna be trending again.
Well, why wouldn't he consider that Celtics game?
Jay Wright?
Yeah.
I think Jay Wright, man, has the best job in college basketball.
He does.
He can do whatever the hell he wants. He's created a successful platform to develop kids.
Makes good money.
Makes great money. He's in a big city where he's a local guy, but he's not looked at like Doug Peterson or Doc Rivers. And here's another thing, too. He has, Barrett, you know this because you played Division I college football. He has total control over his domain.
Yeah.
Total control over his domain.
Huge.
And look, and there's another thing real quick. Who's ripping Villanova? Like, people are critical and all that, but who's on the Villanova beat? That's some jerk. That's like, oh man, if I have to deal with this guy again.
Right,
We win by 8, but now nobody.
Right, and as far as a college job, he does no other sport or program at that school to compete with. Like, there's no big football program taking any of the shine, or the majority of the donations to the athletic program go right to him.
He doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
At Villanova, they don't worry about donations. You know what I'm saying? They're on the outskirts of the city, so they're not really in the city. The kids are all right, man. That's you're right, man. It's the perfect job, man.
It is.
Perfect job.
So real quick, I just wanted to bring this up because I thought both of you would get a kick out of this. We got to bring back Michael Calabrese too from the Action Network, our local guy, because I had a conversation with him about all the futures with college, and we wanted to do it, the four of us. So maybe this week or next week, depending on our schedule here. But I did place one futures wager. I felt really comfortable and confident following, well, two. And it's the Kansas wager. So I went over 5.5 wins for Kansas State. Over. All right. Over. I got a little more confidence than I should. Maybe maybe I was up there drinking that Brooks juice. I don't know what was going on. All gassed up from it, right? The fumes gassed up from it.
That is great work by you.
And here's the other play.
Great work.
You'll like this even more. I went under a half win for Kansas.
Under. So they're going to go over.
Yep.
Wow.
Over.
That's even better.
Over.
Yeah.
Who they get? They picked their coach, but I forgot what their coach's name was.
Yeah.
Les is gone.
Yeah. And the stream is guessing what Jay makes. Jay makes about $6 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Hey, real quick, another thing to keep an eye on. This is a huge night for Derrick Rose from a player prop point productivity standpoint. Derrick Rose is going to have all the usage in the world out there, and he has been playing. He's one of the few bright spots that's been consistent. So if you have an opportunity to take Rose points and assists, points and rebounds, I would strongly suggest you do that.
Barrett, Kansas hired Lance Leopold.
Yes.
Oh, that's
former
Buffalo.
head coach. No. Wisconsin Whitewater. He won a bunch of championships at the one of the lower levels.
What
division was it? Division 2? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, was it 1A or whatever the hell they call it? FCS.
I think it's even below that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lance Leopold.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Scheme team. We don't blame you, man. That's why we're here, the three of us, as a nice, healthy alternative. Although technically we kind of are on the radio too. So, or not technically we are Sports Map Radio. So, but it's not the typical radio that people are used to. Hey, lastly, before we break and wrap the hour, there was one other thing. I just wanted to let you hear this.
What was your reaction when the Steelers asked you to take a pay cut? Were you hurt? Were you surprised? Just what were your emotions?
Ray, it was my idea. I told them I want to help the team out however we can. And so I went to them and told them that I would do whatever I could to help the team sign, the guys that are going to help us win football games. I've been extremely blessed to play this game for a long time. And so, that was one of the reasons I wanted to come back, because I knew we had obviously a great defense and some amazing weapons on offense. And so I wanted to come back to be a part of what I think is a special football team that everyone's overlooking, which is kind of cool too. And so in order to do that, to help get guys here, I felt that it was necessary to do that.
Now, what do you believe more, that Ben Roethlisberger created this idea and planted it in the minds of the Pittsburgh Steelers front office, or that Al Gore successfully created the internet?
I'm going with Big Ben planting the seed.
Gore at this point. I'm more inclined to believe Gore than Big Ben. Why say that? Why? What face are you going to lose? It's hilarious.
You didn't have to answer the question, man.
Yeah.
You didn't have to answer the question.
With the next question?
Right.
Next question.
Right.
Imagine that. Hey, Ben, what was your reaction when you had to take a next question?
Next question. Yeah. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Seriously.
Yeah. Hey, Barrett, you were right, though, too. He was the Buffalo coach. But prior to Buffalo, he won 6 national championships at Wisconsin Whitewater. So he did go to Buffalo and had a couple of good years there, and now he's at Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's something I want to show you guys on the stream here. There's something that I saw populated into my timeline that's giving me like royal anxiety. And I wonder if you would ever do something like this, because I don't think I could. We'll wrap the hour coming up on Sports Map Radio. There's a question, Eagles related, that we have to address in overtime. It's all here on the middle. You see this thing here on Twitter about this pool in London?
Yeah, I saw it. I sent that actually to my wife because it's like a glassed pool about like 15 stories above a street.
Yep.
What happened?
No, nothing happened, but it's just like I would never get in that pool. You can see right through the bottom. It's like it's see-through, and you're like 150 feet above the ground.
Bro,
I would freak the hell out.
Me too, dog. I'm looking at it now. There's no way I'm getting in that pool.
Right.
Wow.
No shot.
Think about that. Like that is, I'm going to pull it up here for people that don't know what we're talking about.
That's hot though. That's real hot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's
but
cool
it's
for
cool.
somebody else.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's cool from a distance.
Mhm.
Right.
What we're talking about here?
Yeah, I'm not getting in there.
No, I wouldn't either, to be honest with you. I mean, this is like major level of anxiety right
Yeah.
now.
Yes. I have anxiety just looking at the article.
Yeah. I don't usually get anxiety from stuff like this.
Oh, I do.
In general. But this like height, I think it's the combination, right? Of the height
and the see-through.
Doesn't it look amazing?
Yeah. Let me mute that just in case.
And I hate to do it to you, man, but I watched too many adventure type of films,
Disaster movies. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's an earthquake while Barrett's in the pool, and the pool starts to break apart.
That's exactly right. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that thing, though,
that's
man.
disaster.
It's crazy.
I'm watching MI6 or something, or MI2 or whatever it is, and you see the guy out there, he's gonna put a hole in it. I watch too many shows like that.
Somebody's gonna shoot like a high-powered rifle to break the thing while Barrett's in there enjoying an infused cocktail.
Yeah, man, just waste my pineapple all over myself, man.
You can say like, oh bleep, I knew it, man. Oh, not in Broadway. Oh shit, I knew it. Like as that thing is popping and the damn pool is draining, it's like, oh shit, man.
Look, Harry, I'm having an infused pineapple. Oh, look at this. Somebody shot the pool.
Right. And I used the damn Grey Goose too.
Right. The good stuff.
Right.
It's amazing. It's true though.
All right, now it's just broke now, but still there's no cussing, no fussing.
God, Barrett loves that commercial, man. I don't know. Does he love that girl in that commercial more than he loves Furkan Korkmaz or Shake Milton?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, we need to put up a poll.
Oh man, she is the greatest, man. She is the greatest, bro.
It's funny.
Dude, if I saw her, like I could see myself like getting on a plane, and as I'm getting on a plane, she's getting off, and I'm looking at her.
I would just start laughing.
Yep. She's got the phone to her, and I just supposed to start laughing.
Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks.
Oh man!
All right, final couple of minutes here. No idea, man. Parles just bounced us, man.
Yep.
What's all right, man?
That's disappointing.
He had something kind of big he had to do.
Are you sure?
No.
Just giving this guy the
I didn't see the email.
Right. He's giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, yeah, why the hell not?
Oh man, the play actually real said he had to print out the directions.
Yeah. Again, going back to Barrett's favorite line of commercials. We should get that guy on.
Right.
The guy whoever that actor is.
Difficult to track down.
Oh, if you printed out the directions to get here,
right,
you're supposed to be.
What's
here.
his character's name in those commercials, Barrett?
It's like
I don't know,
Dr.
man.
something, right?
Dr. something.
Oh man, that's my guy, man.
Wow.
Yeah, yes, you love that guy, man. You absolutely love him. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a strong commercial.
Oh man,
what?
The waiter doesn't need to know your name.
Dr. Rick. It's
yeah,
Dr.
Rick. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We couldn't get out of here, at least on the radio, until you got his name out.
That's right.
That's it. Now we can.
Now we can go to overtime.
Will Myers over a half hit tonight. Take it. You'll thank me later. Oh man, we're back in 30. Thanks, Ron. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, double in.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
All right, it's overtime here, Philly, as we are live in Philadelphia, in and around on the JAKIB Media YouTube page from the Fritz and Bean Cooley Law Studios here. And did this Julio Jones thing officially die, or are people still talking about this thing?
Well, at this point, he has no takers. I mean, everybody's over the cap or close to being over the cap.
But he's not coming here, right?
No. He never was coming here.
No, that was.
Well, I know he was never
a
coming
farce.
here. That's what I meant. Like, it's not still being discussed.
I
They
guess
would have to
I
cut
guess-
half the team for him to come.
Yeah, I guess Peter King will have to put out another Monday morning quarterback column and redo the odds.
Right.
Or actually, was it Lock and Fora that had him at 10-1 to come to the Eagles? And then I showed you guys the real odds. I think it was Lock and Fora.
Yeah, Lock and Fora, yeah.
I was going back to that. Yeah, it was a lot. So that whole thing was manufactured from the jump.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is really like 90% of any football news right now is manufactured stuff.
We're going to get a lot of that down, right?
Yeah, until they get back to doing something.
Yeah, but we don't care about that. Isn't that amazing?
Well, we don't have to care about it on this show.
No, but that's my. Well,
we're,
yes. No,
we're not at the station where we have to manufacture Eagles content, which
right. Correct, and I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Like, we don't care about it from that standpoint. I meant like it can be contrived. It can be stuff that we know is made up. It can be stuff like, oh, there's an outside shot. Julio Jones will go to the Eagles, and yeah, like from a content standpoint, we may not care about it as much. But just as far as like from a city standpoint, and this is across the board in the NFL, people would rather humor themselves when it comes to the NFL stuff than they would with any other sport.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like, there's no way Kawhi Leonard is coming here. And like, there's no way Julio Jones is coming here. But people would spend 2 weeks talking about the Eagles win total with what it would be like with Julio Jones here. Meanwhile, they wouldn't even spend a breath on Kawhi Leonard or LeBron James or Julius Randle, if that's the case.
Well, we did talk about LeBron James a few years ago, possibly coming to Philly.
I mean, we were trying to connect the dots, his kids, going to this school. And
right. Somebody was
trying to get
scouting out a school, and I think it was Devon Prep, because I remember I was working with Mercedes.
I think it was Malvern Prep. Was it Devon?
No, that was another one, but Devon Prep was another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and he wasn't even thinking about coming to the East Coast.
No,
he knew exactly where he wanted to go. He was going to the Lakers regardless. But I mean, you guys think this will be a destination place now with Doc being here? I mean, I can see it potentially, bringing some big names in now.
I think the Knicks are going to become are now a destination spot.
I think more so, the 76ers, just because Embiid. And the potential that he has, putting him with somebody that is a bona fide superstar, man.
Well, that you talking about like trading Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Okay, that's different. I'm talking about like free agent stuff.
No.
Kawhi Leonard to the New York Knicks.
You think that's what they're saying, huh?
I mean,
already.
the Knicks are always going to deal with that advantage when they're good that they can sell. And when they're terrible and they don't have any direction, like Thibodeau is probably going to do more for the Knicks than anything. Just the fact that there's a stable coach there that can maybe buck up to James Dolan. But look, Philadelphia and Boston are always at a disadvantage when it comes to New York in this region. They just are. And that's, I don't know how you get around that outside.
Market number one. That's why.
Yeah. But I mean, look, even when they're bad, it doesn't hurt them like it would. If the Sixers are bad or Boston is bad, people won't go there.
All right, update. Joel Embiid is officially out for Game 5, according to our buddy John McMullen.
Okay.
Wow, John
We can rely
McMullen
on that.
breaking NBA news.
Yeah.
Not something I would expect. This guy comes fresh off of Birds 365, takes a quick little power nap, wakes up, and then breaks some news in the NBA.
Well, I have the MRI update here from a 76ers medical update that McMullen quoted. It says an MRI, which was reviewed by several orthopedic specialists, revealed that Embiid has a small lateral meniscus tear in his right knee. The injury will be managed with physical therapy and treatment. He's out for tonight's game versus Washington and considered day to day.
He's probably had that throughout this entire season. That's one of those injuries that never really heals. You just learn to play through it, to power through it. Meniscus are the worst too, man, because they get on your nerve, but they're not something that deals with the stability of the knee.
Right.
It's just mostly just pain tolerance that gets you through that.
Okay.
I've had a meniscus many a day. In fact, most athletes have those meniscus tears. It's just, a pain tolerance thing. It has nothing to do with the structural stability of your knee. So you keep going, you can play if you can, take the pain.
It's a thing, though, where, and this goes back to what you were saying, where I think there's a lot of truth to it, where if this were Game 5, a closeout game against Milwaukee or 6, whatever it may be, and you need him out there, he's getting you
20 minutes.
At 75% clip. And the reality is that you could use him. Like, he's got a sick jumper, mid-range shot that's tough to defend. You could put him out there at the 3. You don't even need to have him running around crazy on defense, and you still have a really valuable weapon. But in this case, it's like, well, okay, you definitely can sit him. The problem, though, remains, which is, and I hate to use this term because there's such a negative association with it, like you can't live or survive with this condition, but he's injury prone.
Yep.
And that unfortunately can bite you at the worst possible moment. And that isn't a series with Milwaukee or Brooklyn, and that isn't a series with Phoenix or Utah. And look, I'm not preparing for the worst going into it, but what I'm saying is shit, you are screwed if you're going up against any of those teams without Joel Embiid for 1.5 games, let alone 3 or 4 games. He's still the best player in the NBA. He's the most dominant player in the NBA. He's Wilt Chamberlain reincarnated. He's better for us than what Allen Iverson even was. And I know that's all crazy to hear, but the balance of it, it's almost like the good and the bad, right? The only negative is it's a roulette wheel. Joel Embiid is a roulette wheel, man. And that thing can pop up on 00 at any time and clear out the whole table.
Yep. It's true.
At the end of the day, man, he's just that much of a force. So we need him, but it's just the nature of we don't need him as bad today as we would if this game, they end up beating the 76ers this next game, and then the next game we play, he would definitely play.
Just humor me. What happens in the Barrett Brooks household if you watch tonight's game and the Sixers find a way to lose? What happens the next day?
Oh, I'm pissed. I'm coming on and I'm talking about that game. I'm telling everybody, who needs to be cut and everything else, bro, because this game should be easy.
Now, what's this? Is Bruder having fun with us, or is this real?
I don't think he'd mess with us like that.
You think Coach K is going to retire after next season? Is that the news? I don't think Bruder would mess with us either. But I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here. Yeah, Odyssey Sports, your boys say Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski will retire after the 2021-22 season per Goodman Hoops. So Jeff Goodman. is reporting.
You know, I think I saw this. I think I saw this like 6 months ago.
Oh, this was 17 seconds ago.
No, I'm saying I heard him reference it like 16 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Like 6 months ago, that he'd been thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's not too far. It's not the not so distant future that he's been saying he's going to retire.
The leading candidate to replace Coach K is an assistant and former Duke player, John Shire. I remember that guy.
Yep.
Well, look, man. Now get all of your Coach K to Boston stuff out.
Yep.
Put it out right now. Get it out on Twitter. Get ahead of the game. Do it all, because that's where this whole conversation is now going, right?
Well, I mean, he's going to apparently play or coach one more season at Duke. So if you're thinking he's going to Boston, they'd have to have some sort of interim guy.
That's fine.
Right?
Look,
Brad Stevens does both jobs for a year.
That would be the tell.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Right?
Yep. You're absolutely right.
That's the tell right there. We need to wait and see what Brad Stevens does with this job. And, look, it was too tight. We didn't find the right candidate. We need a little more time. Me, or maybe it's an assistant. Maybe they bump an assistant up in the void and they lie to the assistant and say, don't worry, you could really win this job with a great record.
Right. We're considering you for the midday show. So, give us the next 6 months of your life here. Put your heart and soul into it. Meanwhile, they're negotiating a contract with some guy from out of market.
Exactly right.
From Atlanta, right?
Exactly right. It's amazing how that works. All right, gentlemen. Anything else you'd like?
I need your best every day. Just got to come and bring it.
I'm laying the 6.5. Just so you know.
All right, fella.
Are you laying it?
I'm going over in the rebounds and assists with Simmons.
There you go. I love that, by the way.
All
That's
right.
probably the best play, absolutely the best play, outside, of course, of Will Myers with over a half hit tonight. Go ahead and take that one. For Barrett Brooks, Harry Mays, Eytan Shander, Corey Parson, who joined us earlier, the JAKIB Media YouTube community. You've got Dan Cilio coming up this afternoon, another Birds 365 in the morning. We're back tomorrow at 11. All here on the JAKIB Media YouTube page and live and local from the Fritz and B. and Cooley Law Firm Studio.
Football in Philadelphia is a lifestyle, a passion from birth, and a personal responsibility to know the game. Boo when necessary. And think about Eagles! Every second of every minute of every hour of every day. Birds 365 was created for you. Jody Mack, the legendary sports talker, joins forces with NFL insider John McMullen. Birds 365. Start your morning with Johnny Mack and Jody Mack across the JAKIB Media Network. Watch it live on YouTube.